What is going on, guys? This is Caleb and I am making this video for you guys. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that I addressed this in my first video, but it was something that has been in my life for a while now, and a thing that I think a lot of people these days can relate to. And this thing is social anxiety. Now what is social anxiety? I personally didn't even know what social anxiety was, and so I would go through my days at school and think that this was just a regular thing, and I was just this way, and I thought that this was my personality. This is a fixed thing that's not going to change over time, and I'm just going to be living this way, and this is how life is. And I had a really down mindset after that, and because if you're thinking those kind of thoughts, you're not gonna be happy about that. Just kind of down on yourself, and it was weird because like I said, as a kid, I was very social. I was very outgoing. I was talking to as many people as possible, right? And going up to middle school, it was a big change. It was a big change, meeting new people, going to different classes. I wasn't used to it. It was a way different environment that I had to immerse myself into. And I remember going to these classes, and the classes that I didn't have people to talk to, that I didn't know of, those were the classes that I was dead up quiet. I didn't even bother opening up my mouth because I was scared about people thinking weird about me or people judging me for that. So, but it was weird. It was different with my friends. The classes that I had friends with, that I knew from elementary school, or say that I knew outside of school, those classes I was fine with because I had somebody I could talk to, somebody I could relate to. I didn't feel as weird, as I guess you could say. And I don't know if you guys can relate with me on that, but I would feel more comfortable with people that I knew in those kind of classes. But with those classes that I didn't have people in, or that I didn't know of, those were the classes I really struggled with. And I remember it was sometime in 8th grade, and my middle school went from 7th grade to 9th grade, and then high school was 10th to 12th. So in 8th grade, around 8th grade, I was like, you know what? There probably is a solution out there. And before that, I thought the solution was to talk to as many people as possible, which is not a bad solution. You know, Having social anxiety, you want to put yourself outside of your comfort zone. You want to put yourself into situations that you're not comfortable with, and you want to do that repetitive. You want to do it as many times as possible, because when you do that, they have something called exposure therapy. Now, what this is having a fear, having something that you're afraid of, right? So let's say in this scenario, it's social anxiety. So you're scared about talking to people, or you're scared to talk to people. And so for you to do exposure therapy, it would be to talk to as many new people as possible. Put yourself in those kind of social situations. And over time, as you do this consistently, and this is not something that you just do once a week. This is something that try to do as many times a day as possible. Get yourself into those kind of situations so that you train your mind, that you tell your mind that as you do it that many times, that it's not as bad as you think it is. You go in and you're like, after like a while, you're like, this is not that bad. And I realized this. I realized, some days are harder than others, and that's fine. But I realized that the days that I do push myself, the days that I do push my limits and I go outside of my comfort zone, my entire mood and my entire rest of the day, I'm like, when I interact with people, it's different. It's the way that I'm communicating, my tone, the way I'm carrying myself. It's all different when I talk to people that are strangers that I don't know. When I put myself in those kinds of situations, and so that's a good solution. Try and talk to as many people as possible that you don't know. Strangers off the streets, or just people in your classroom. Starting a conversation with somebody. Now, but for me, I know that it's a lot harder said than done. It's a lot harder to put yourself in those kind of situations. I know that from experience. I remember reading posts on, like, in 8th grade, and I was like, it was telling me to just do those kind of things, and I was like from that mindset, I was like, I can't do that. They were telling me to talk to new people and all that, and they're giving me all these tips to get rid of this anxiety. And I wouldn't even have the willpower. I wouldn't have the courage in order to do that. And I was getting frustrated with myself. I was like, why am I not? I know what to do, right? Or at least I think I know what to do. And I'm still not able to, get myself to do it. And it was getting really aggravated. And I was really getting low on myself and really down on myself. And so I kept reading things, how to be more confident. This is going through the entire time in middle school. I was how to be more confident, how to maintain eye contact, because that was one thing that I struggled with, because I had so much like negative thoughts and just so much anxiety when I was around people that my eyes were darting when I was talking to people. Like I would be having a conversation with you right now. Let's say I was having a conversation with you, and my eye contact would be like looking like this, like. Yeah, like I would be like talking to you right here, but then I'd be like having my focus over there. Like it was all over the place, and it was bad. And so I learned some skills, and those tips did help in ways, but it didn't give me the change that I wanted. It didn't get rid of the anxiety that was present whenever I went to these social situations. And so, but I was motivated at this point. I was motivated to find a solution, because I knew that was not the way I wanted to live my life for the rest of my life. Because if I understood the fact that if I didn't settle this problem now, then when was I going to settle it? I didn't want to spend my 20s living this kind of anxiety. That was kind of a motivation for me to find a solution. And this is how I got more involved with self-development. I started really to look within myself and actually ask myself, who am I? What beliefs am I carrying around? Why do I feel this kind of anxiety around social situations? What kind of thoughts am I having throughout the day? And I was indulging myself into these kind of topics. And so this went on for about a year or two, and eventually high school started, right? And I was doing the same thing. I was pushing myself to talk to as many people as possible, trying to interact and get myself outside of my comfort zone. And I really started getting involved. I started getting involved with what was going on in my head, the beliefs that I was carrying around. And I'm not saying I'm an expert at this. It's a work in progress right now. And I just wanted to relate my story with this topic, and my experience with this topic. But yeah, so I was taking a very outside approach throughout middle school, trying to be more confident, trying to be more of this image that I thought that was good enough. And as the years went on, I started to realize that wasn't the answer I was looking for. The answer that I was looking for was to actually look within myself. Not to try to put on a facade, because that's not that. I'm telling you guys, I've tried that, and you just end up feeling like you're not authentic, which you're not, because you're putting on a facade. And you feel like you have to put on an act every time you talk to people. And I really started to think about this, and I was like, I really just want to genuinely talk to people in an authentic manner. I wanted to talk to people not in a way that I was trying to put like an impression or anything. I just wanted to talk to people and communicate with people, and have a good time, just be able to relate to them, and build a good vibe. And that's all I wanted. And there's like so much anxiety, so much things that were stopping me from doing this, and it was getting to a point where I was getting worked up. And so I started to look within myself, and I started to really get involved with my beliefs, and I started to really find out material on how to change beliefs, how to be more aware of my thoughts, how to understanding my emotions. That was a big thing. Understanding my emotions, what was this anxiety that I felt walking into every social situation? What was that? And I was so determined to find an answer, because everything that I was finding online was I could relate to. I was like, why, like, what, and, honestly, why was I feeling these emotions? Why did I feel like I was embarrassed in front of other people? Why did I care so much about what other people thought? And that has a lot to do with social conditioning, and we'll get into that in other videos. But really, just why was I having all these emotions, and why was I feeling the way I was feeling? And I can tell you guys right now that the emotions that we feel, like depression, anxiety, all that, is because we're believing a story about ourselves that might be negative, that is building those emotions. Because those emotions, the only reason why those emotions are coming up is because we have, like, I'm gonna use a metaphor. So, like a splinter that you have, right? You have a splinter. Let's say you have a splinter, and so you wouldn't be taking Advil to numb down this pain. You wouldn't be taking all these medications to numb down that splinter. The only way that you would find a solution to take out that splinter, or to get rid of the pain of that splinter, is to take that splinter out. You don't want to you don't want to leave it in there and try to deaden it with all these medications. You want to take the actual problem out. And same thing with our beliefs and our emotions. The emotion is not the problem. And you see this with with people that are taking medication for depression and anxiety. They're trying to take medication to numb down these emotions, when these emotions are coming from our beliefs that we have of ourselves. It's coming from a story that we believe about ourselves. Not that, oh, there's some random emotion and that you're different and that you need to get medication because you're not the same as everyone else. No, this is a natural thing. This is not out of the ordinary. This is emotions that everyone feels on a day-to-day basis, and so to get rid of that emotion, you have to get rid of that belief that you have about yourself. And that is what I started to grow awareness of, was that, in order for me to stop being socially anxious, I needed to find the beliefs that I was believing in that was causing all these emotions. That was the solution. And once you guys get this topic, once you guys get this understanding, it's like you don't even have to judge your emotions anymore. You don't have to judge your anxiety anymore, because you know that that's not the problem. The problem is your beliefs, and the beliefs that you're having about yourself. And so to look inward and really look into your beliefs and really question them, really be skeptical of them, really be aware of them. And with awareness, now you can change those beliefs. Because without awareness, you're just living an unconscious pattern. You're just living an unconscious life, and you're not aware of these beliefs. And that's why you're not aware of the emotions that you're feeling. And so we have to start becoming aware of these things, becoming aware of the thoughts that are going through our head. And I can give you guys more tips, more advice on becoming more aware of these and how we can become more aware of these. But that's for future videos. For right now, I just wanted to get the point across that our emotions aren't the problem. So social anxiety is not even a problem. It's the beliefs that we have about ourselves that is the problem. That's the splinter. That's what's holding us back. And so to understand that, to really get that is a profound discovery. It will have a tremendous impact on your life. I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please subscribe for more material. I will be posting a lot more material on this. Hopefully help you guys out as much as possible. Build a more loving and more happy life, and a more positive world. For right now, I'm signing off, guys. Hope you guys have a lovely night or a lovely day wherever you guys are. And until next time, peace.